All right, everybody, let's welcome to the second session. The second session for the course. All right, before I proceed, maybe I need to correct something here. I have mentioned that you can actually go and download the software on your Teams platform that is labeled playback software. I think if you got a VLC or another beta version of Windows Media Player, you can play it without you using that software. So you can try it, but if you fail to do so, you can continue to download that software. Okay, fine. Maybe before we look at today's business, let's have a quick recap of our first session. In our first session, we'll define what a system is. We said it's a collection of components that are working together, or a set of interrelated components working together to achieve a particular goal. Right, that was it. Then also, we also looked at how a system operates and the importance of a system and the importance of understanding the system concepts in as far as systems analysis and design is. Then we also looked at the characteristics of system. We look at independence, organization, and also looked in terms of integration. We also looked in terms of central objective. We defined or we explained those characteristics. Then also looked at the components of a system, and I said I'm going to give you examples of system where you need to, from each and given system, you must be able to identify which are the entities, which are the components, which are the system boundary, which are the system, whatever. Then we also look at types of systems: closed system, open systems, probabilistic, deterministic. Then lastly, we looked at information systems. Then under information systems, I asked you to go and look at each information system. Of course, I said that was part of your assignment, but what I want you to understand of each information system is what is its input, what type of processing is done, who are the users used to for what, and what are the type of output from each and every information system. Then from there, we also looked at system study, system analysis and design. Then we said system analysis and design, that's the approach that is used to develop information systems, right? Then we said system analysis and design is made up of system analysis and the system design activities. So systems analysis and design, that's the approach to develop information systems, which is composed of system analysis activities and the system design activities. All right, fine. So before we continue with the major topics in system analysis and design, we want to look at the person that I'm talking to, the system analyst. Why did I say the person I'm talking to? Because at the end of the day, or at the end of the course, one of the course outcome is at the end of the day, you must be able to do a thorough analysis of a system and also to be able to design a system. And the person who does systems analysis and system design, we call that person a systems analyst. So now let's look at the system analyst. Who is a system analyst? What are the roles? What are the attributes of a systems analyst before we continue with other major topics of which are going to be looking in that are part of the course. All right. What's going on? Right. So who is the systems analyst? The systems analyst is a person who conducts a study, identifies activities and objectives. And also, it doesn't end there, it determines a procedure to achieve the objectives. So here we can see that a person who conducts a study, identifies activities and objectives. These are more of systems analyst activities, right? And determine a procedure to achieve objectives. These are more of system design activities. So a systems analyst, in short, is a person who does systems analyst activities and system design activities. But it's only that we have break down it to say here's a person who does conduct a study, identifies activities and objectives, does system analyst activities, then determine the procedure, to achieve the objectives that become system design. So let's proceed. So designing and implementing systems to suit organizational needs are the functions of the systems analyst. So he's the one who is also responsible for designing and implementing systems to suit organizational needs. So it's not all about analyzing and designing systems, but those systems must be useful to organizations. So the system analyst plays Alright, so this major role is seeing business benefits from computer technology. So all we are saying is from a business perspective, so we are simply saying from the business perspective that the analyst must see how we can actually apply computer technology in order to capitalize and for the benefit of the organization. So we are looking at it to say we have many business functional units in an organization. He must familiarize himself with those business teams and see where we can apply computer technology for the benefit of what? Of the benefit of the organization. So the analyst is a person with unique skills. Of course, are going to be looking in terms of these skills. Then the analyst also uses these skills to coordinate the different type of persons in an organization to achieve business goals. So since the organization needs to coordinate people, you must be a good communicator. You must know how to motivate. You must know how to interact with people from different levels within the organization. Now let's look at what the system, what does a system analyst does. Of course, we are not going to dig deep into this one, but number one, the first analysis is what we call problem definition. Before you analyze, you come up with anything, you need to identify the problem. Of course, there are differences between a symptom and a problem, but for you as analyst, you must know which one is the symptom and which one is the problem. After identifying the problem, then of course you need to go on to do what you call a stakeholder analysis. That is where we say you consult with the managers. You need to coordinate with everyone in the organization. An example is, for example, we have identified that the system that is being used by our Institute of Technology Library is having some problems. You don't just consult to students to say, what are the problems with this system? Of course, the students might be having problems with that system, but you need to do what you call a stakeholder consultation. You need to ask all the stakeholders that are involved in the use of the library, so that you have a broader picture of where the problem is. And you need also to redefine the problem if need be. Then after that, The analyst must also be in a position to, after gathering the data, to analyze the data. He must be able to analyze the data and find out what exactly is the problem. If the problem that you have been identified, then of course he needs to refine the problem. He needs to come up with a solution that can actually solve the problem that has been defined, the problem that has been revived after consultation, stakeholder consultation. Then after that, you need to refine until you come up with a workable solution. After coming with a workable solution, you need to coordinate the process of developing a solution. Then, system analysts, they are also what we call planners. You need to do the planning. Which activities must be included in developing the solution? Who is going to be doing what, where, and when? What are the tasks that are involved in the development of the solution? What are the resources which are required for each and every task that has been identified? What are the time constraints and what time should we allocate to each? This part and parcel of Of planning. So when the plan is accepted, the analyst is also responsible for designing the plan, and after that is also responsible for testing it. So in other words, we are simply saying the analyst is the one who is responsible for all the activities that are involved in what you call the system development life cycle, or the software development life cycle. That will be our next our next session. We'll be looking at the system development life cycle. Let's look at what we call the attributes of an effective systems analyst. So the systems analyst must have the following attributes. The first and foremost, which is important, is also what we call the knowledge of people. Why knowledge of people? The system analyst must, since the system analyst works with most people, and not only most people, he works with the people from different departments. He works with people with a different user experience. He works with the people who are technical. He works with people who are non-technical. So the systems analyst must have knowledge of all those people and what are their contribution to the system that needs to be developed. And he needs also to be able to understand how he's going to gather data from all those people. You need to also know how he's going to motivate those people so that in the development of the system, there are less disputes. And then you need also to have what you call number 2, knowledge of business functions. Of course, we have many business functions. We can talk of accounting, we can talk of marketing, we can talk of HR, we can talk of sales, we can talk of finance, we can talk of we have many business functions that you can name them. So why is that is important for the systems analyst to have knowledge of those business functions? It's important because, as mind you, he doesn't only work with the technical people. He works with those people from all those business functions. Understanding those business functions will help, number 1, the analyst to collect relevant data. It also helps the system analyst to understand their needs, such that in the event that there is an opportunity to use information technology to improve that particular business function, the systems analyst can actually implement or use technology to the advantage of that particular business function users. Then also, the system analyst must understand or must have knowledge of data processing principles. Just because most of systems today, they are computer based, you must be aware of data processing principle. Of course, below I have listed the data processing principles, which are lawfulness, data limitation, minimization, accuracy, storage limitation, integrity, confidentiality, and accountability. I think you can actually go and read more to understand this, but I think in one way or the other you have covered them in some other courses. But if not, you might need also to go and look at what you call the data processing principles and how important they are, or why it's important that the systems analyst must possess these data processing principles. Then the systems analyst also must be a good communicator. Why a good communicator? You must be a good communicator because, mind you, the systems analyst works with many people who are from all angles, who are from different levels of organization, who are technical, who are non-technical. So you must be able to communicate. And with effective communication, you will be guaranteed that you can sell your idea, or your idea is sellable. And you are also able to get what you earn from people through proper communication. You can lure people to tell you what they are not supposed to tell you just because you're a very good communicator. And you can actually lure people to buy in your ideas just because you are a good communicator. So the systems analyst must be what? A very, very good communicator. Then, lastly, he must be flexible. Why flexible? Because he's working with different people from different levels of organization. He must be flexible in their thinking. He mustn't be rigid. People mustn't think that the system analyst is untouchable, he is unapproachable. He must be people who is approachable, who is understandable, who can be he is approachable also. So he must be flexible. He works with a lot of people, and he must understand this goal that at the end of the day, he must come up with what? With a working system. Then the systems analyst must be also possess an analytical mind. Why an analytical mind? Because system analysis require a deep understanding of the facts, which is an analytical mind. And lastly, if not least, the system analyst must be well educated with a sharp mind. Why well educated with a sharp mind? Because you're going to work with virtually in every aspect of business. You'll be working in accounting, HR, and you'll be working from people from those areas. Some of them, they might be calling them they are geniuses. You need also to gain their confidence. You need to be a person who can learn quickly, to do things better. You must be adaptive to the environment. You must also be able to adapt to different business functions, either through learning or through being introduced with people there. So if you're educated, you can simply adapt to those. So basically this is what we need to know about the system analysis. But before I forget, there is also a PDF labeled 1B that is also on Microsoft Teams platform. I think you can also go and go through it. You learn more about the systems analyst. Maybe if I can give you maybe guiding questions, that's why the systems analyst is of concern. You can take down this one. First question is define, or who is the system analyst, or define what the system analyst, or who is the system analyst, 2 marks. Who is a systems analyst, or that's 2 marks. Then part B, with regard to system development life cycle or software development life cycle, with regard to system development life cycle or system development life cycle, explain the roles of the systems analyst. Explain the roles of the system analyst, 10 marks. Then the last part, or part C, 30 questions that I want just to as a follow-up questions. Maybe after reading after listening to this audio, we will be able to answer that. The last question is explain any 5 attributes an effective system analyst should possess. That's 10 marks again. So that is said and done. We're going to look at the SDLC like I indicated earlier in our next session. Thank you.